This is a short write-up I like to call The Insignificance of Self-Image. If you've ever been in an argument on an internet forum, you've probably heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect. It comes from a study done by a guy named Dunning and a guy named Kruger, who measured people's knowledge as a function of their confidence. The conclusion they drew was that people are usually overconfident. Usually this is attributed to arrogance. There's this idea that humans are naturally arrogant because natural selection just tragically failed to eliminate this weakness, and we're just a fucked up, arrogant species with a mass mental disorder. And that's possible, but the more likely explanation is that overconfidence is just a useful tool. Studies have shown that people who are correct about 75% of the time on an exam have something over 90% confidence in their answers. So let's make a game out of that. We'll say there are 4 cards face down, and 75% of them are winning cards. Player 1 decides to be fully confident, and he just takes every card. He gets 3 wins and a loss, so he's at a net +2, guaranteed. However, Player 2 approaches the scenario with 75% confidence. He only asks for 3 cards and chooses one to leave behind. Technically, his confidence is accurate. It's perfectly accurate. He knows that at least one card is bad. However, he has absolutely no guarantee that his humility will kick in on the correct card. You could think of it like a math test where your teacher gives you 4 problems and lets you skip one. How do you know which problem you should skip? By taking only 3 cards, player 2 has a mere 25% chance of getting a perfect score and a 75% chance of getting a worse score than the arrogant person. He's paradoxically much more of a gambler than the person who took every bet. His average score is only a net 1.5 when you average all the possibilities together, compared to his opponent's guaranteed score of 2. This is why it's intuitive to be annoyed by people who try and express overly precise humility. Saying that you're certain you have a 69.12345% likelihood of success is like bragging about the fact that you can count the number of hairs on your chin in the mirror. It's pointless self-reflection. If you're playing a game or you're in a scenario where failure is not an option, picking all 4 cards is certain death. 0% is not better than 25%. However, you don't use your confidence to recognize this kind of scenario in the first place. The question you ask yourself is not, will I lose, but rather, can I lose? It's not a confidence judgment, but rather a value judgment. And when you replace values with humility, you are being mathematically arrogant, regardless of how accurate your self-image may be. When I play Gundam Evolution, my self-image is Sazabi. That's what self-image is for.
Griping guppies, mermaid man.